So today we will talk about hemoglobin. Hemoglobin structure. We'll do today hemoglobin structure. Hemoglobin, we also talk about what is hemoglobin. We actually go into the deep of the structure, and then we'll see what type of hemoglobins are present in our body, and in adult form, in fetal form of hemoglobin. We'll talk about all the types of hemoglobin and synthesis of little bit the synthesis of hemoglobin, from which the hemoglobin is synthesized. So let's talk about the hemoglobin. So first, let's see what is hemoglobin. As name suggests, you can see as name suggests, it is a heme and a globin. So it is a protein part. This heme is a protein part, and this is organic, actually coordinate organic compound. So you have got heme is a compound, organic compound that has iron at the center. Heme. So heme and globin is a protein. So heme is nothing but an organic compound. This type of organic tetrapyral structure. So this is a tetrapyral structure. So this is pyrrole ring. Pentane ring with one nitrogen is called pyrrole ring. So this pyrrole structure, this is pyrrole structure. You can see this is pyrrole structure. Draw 4 pyrrole and then add this iron. Iron also is present in the form of ferrous. So only hemoglobin and myoglobin are the protein, heme protein, that has iron in this ferrous form. Other protein will have iron in ferric form. So remember this very important differences. So this is hemoglobin. This is hemoglobin. Now hemoglobins, we will talk about the hemoglobin. Now in addition to hemoglobin, there are other proteins also that carry this heme, and these are called heme protein. Heme protein. So hemoglobin and heme proteins are there. Hemoglobin is also heme protein, because heme plus protein, that is why this is called heme protein. Now let's first let's focus on this hemoglobin only first, because today we will talk about hemoglobin only, and then I will tell you a very important intracellular heme protein. I'll introduce you to very important intracellular heme protein that actually are very important for our body function. So if you have to understand this hemoglobin, you will have to understand the whole thing, whole heme protein. So where they are present and what is it, because we are going to talk about synthesis of heme also. If synthesis of heme has problem, then there will be problem with not only with hemoglobin but also with this heme protein. So that is why you need to understand where heme are present, which all protein are there which contain heme. So let's first talk about this hemoglobin. So I will first do my own board teaching. So you can see the hemoglobin. If you see the hemoglobin, this hemoglobin is synthesized from this 2 chromosome. 2 gene is located on this 2 chromosome. There is 2 type of globin chain. So hemoglobin is heme plus globin. Now let's first talk about this globin, because for heme we will talk in next class. So here we will focus more on globin. So globin, if you can see let's talk about adult hemoglobin. So adult form of hemoglobin is made up of 2 alpha chain. Globin is made up of 2 alpha and 2 beta chain. Now this alpha and beta chains, these are not the secondary structure. These are actually the tertiary structure, but the name given to that tertiary structure. So it is a tetrameric protein, alpha 2 and beta 2. So alpha 2 protein is synthesized from a gene that is located on chromosome number 6. That is located on chromosome number 16. That is located on chromosome number 16. And this beta gene is present on chromosome number 11. Chromosome number 11. This beta gene is present on chromosome number 11. Can you see this? How will you remember this 11 and 16? I'll give you a trick. So can I write this? This is alpha. Can I invert this alpha like this? Can I invert alpha like this? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
So if you remove this part, this becomes 6. And then you add 1 here. So will you remember? Alpha is synthesized from this 16 chromosome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then beta. So beta, if you see beta, this is beta. So let's separate this two. This becomes like this, and then this is like this. So you remove this. So it is like 13 or something, like it is very close to 11. Or if you can remove this, it will become like 11. So beta is a bit straight later. So that is how you can remember this 11. So I have remembered this way. So 11 chromosome, beta is synthesized, beta chain is synthesized, and this 16 chromosome, this alpha gene is synthesized. Let's talk a little bit about the gene distribution. So see, this is a DNA. I'm writing DNA like this, okay? This is DNA. Here is also DNA for beta chain on 11. So I have taken this DNA, let's say this, I have magnified this gene like this. Okay, so when you magnify this gene like this, so what happens is beta has this, let's see first alpha have this group of 2 gene at one place, and then next 2 gene at other place. This gene is called zeta. This is called zeta. Okay, it is similar to Z, you can see zeta, and this is called alpha. So there are 2 alpha 1, alpha 2. These are very similar type of gene. Okay, alpha, zeta 2, zeta 1, zeta 2. These are very similar. They are not different. They are duplication of same gene. You can remember duplication of same gene. So this is also duplication of same gene. 2 genes are present on one DNA. So this will produce 2 proteins. So did you remember this? Did you understand this? Now let's talk about this gene on this beta. So for beta, you can see, so first of all there will be epsilon gene. Okay, only one is epsilon gene is there, epsilon. Okay, so I have remembered this through mnemonics: E, G, A, EGAP, and DB, DB. So G is like only one, EGAP, DB. So you can remember this GA. GA is like this is gamma. This is glycine gamma. This is alanine gamma. So this is called epsilon gene. So this is epsilon, and this is gamma G and gamma A. There are different genes that code for gamma protein. So we will talk about that gamma gene. This is a very alternative gene. So what will happen? One protein come from here, and two protein come from here, and 2 protein come from here. This zeta is identical to alpha, and these are identical to beta. Okay, you can call this epsilon, gamma A and gamma B. These are sisters of beta. So you can see these are located on same gene, are somewhat similar, but little bit differences are there. So we will see the functional, what are the difference between this, and there is one delta. There is one delta here. So closely placed delta gene is there. Delta is there, and then last gene you will see is beta. The last gene you will see is beta. Now what will happen is here the expression, genetic expression will happen like this, in this direction. So if you see the chronology in fetus period, in embryonic period, these 2 protein will they express in embryonic period, and then this 2 protein will express in embryonic plus express in after embryonic means fetal period plus adult. Okay, now if you see here epsilon, you can remember epsilon as start letter for embryonic. So this is always expressed in embryonic only. Now here we have different for fetal. So this is embryonic, this is fetal. And then delta and beta, these are expressed, this is expressed then. So after fetal. So this is the first expressed, this is second expressed in chronology of after zygote fertilization. I'm talking about the chronology when the gene expresses in this D chromosome, in this and this chromosome. I'm talking about chronology. So this beta gene expressed last after birth. After birth. So it will express immediately after birth, but this gene, delta gene, it expresses 6 months. It takes 6 months after birth. So if you see the chronology, 1, 2, 3rd is this, and then 4th is delta. So will you remember, this is a very important concept. If you remember this concept, you will remember chronology. So did you understand this? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
So remember this geography, okay? So in that sense, we have how many DNA? We have 2 copies of DNA, one from mother, one from father. In that sense, if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 to the 10 here. So 10 will be here, and then 4, 8. So about you will see 18. About 18 will be there. But sometimes what we do, we consider them 1. So 2 will be reduced sometimes. So 16 will be there, 16, 18. So total here 10 gene will be for beta, and then 8 gene will be for, what is there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 10 gene for, and then 2 types of, you can see 2 types, but 4 gene. 2 types only here. You can see how many types? 1, 2, 3, 4 types. Double. Beta sisters of beta, there are 4 sisters. So beta has 4 sisters, but alpha have 2 brother. You can say alpha has brother. So alpha has 2 brother, and then beta has 4 sisters. So this brother and sister, any of the sisters of this beta will marry and form globin. So brother will come, either zeta will come like this, and any of this epsilon will come here during embryonic phase. 2 zeta and 2 epsilon will form, and they will marry and form globin chain. Okay, and the same way there has to be one male and one female. Just I'm giving just like male female so that you will understand. It is not male female. Okay, these are simple protein. So there will be association of this and this. There cannot be association this when only alpha are there. That hemoglobin will not be functional. If there is only beta or gamma, that hemoglobin will not be functional. We will study about those abnormal hemoglobin. That those abnormal hemoglobin is present in a disorder called thalassemia. So memorize this. Imagine this. Put this picture in your imagination right now. So this 4 and this is 2. 4 types of and 2 types of, but 2 types of, and then you can see duplicated. So did you all understand? Now we will progress right now. If you with this basics, did you all understand? Just will you? Did it go into your memory?
Yes, sir.
So let's start with this description. We will start hemoglobin. So you can see this is hemoglobin is hem plus globin. As you already know, I have already described it. And this is a very, hemoglobin is actually very important part of erythrocyte. Now you can see this carry oxygen, you know, and oxygen from lungs to tissue, and carbon dioxide from tissue to lungs. So this is what this hemoglobin does. And then you can see this one RBC, any RBC is like this. So any RBC contain about 50% protein. So 40 to 45% is made up of hemoglobin. Any RBC 40 to 45, about 50% space is taken by this hemoglobin protein. Rest is water and minerals, other components will be there. Water and minerals and other proteins, because this biconcave structure is made by the cytoskeleton. That is, cytoskeleton is there. So that cytoskeleton make this biconcave structure. And in that hemoglobin are present around everywhere. So this biconcave structure is made to increase surface area. Now you can see normal concentration of hemoglobin you can see in male. Male is about, you can remember across a simple figure. One is 15, okay, for male, and you can remember for female is like 30. So do two like odd number you can remember, male for 15 and female for 30, so that you can remember the middle range. So this is the range, and then you can remember 15 and 30. So female has a bit less hemoglobin concentration in their blood. So these are the type of hemoglobin you can see with chronology. So with chronology, this is embryonic. First hemoglobin is this, then second hemoglobin, like that. So these are embryonic hemoglobin. So these are chronology. According to chronology, I have written this. So I have told you there is a alpha 16 number chromosome here, and then this side 11 number chromosome is there, and this 11 and 16. So which chromosome is larger? If you say chromosome size is larger, 11 number chromosome is larger or 16 number chromosome is larger? This is a very random question. Can you tell me? 11 number, no, 11 number is larger. 1 is the largest, okay? As number increases, the chromosome number size decreases, okay? So 11 is the larger, okay? 11 number chromosome is larger. Now beta, you will get beta, sisters of beta. What are the sisters of beta? Epsilon, gamma. Gamma will be two types, so forget about that, two types. Gamma and then delta. These are sisters, and this alpha is zeta here, and then alpha. So zeta and alpha. Now you can see first is expressed, you can see this is chronology. This is chronology. So first express will be this and this. So you can see this first expressed is zeta and epsilon will come together. This is called Gawar. So you can easily remember G for zeta and E for epsilon from here only. Gawar. So you can remember Gawar have zeta epsilon. Okay. Remember this one. If you remember this, you will later you will remember this. No problem. In place of zeta, there can be alpha, because there can be alpha or beta. So E is the main thing here. So Gawar. Now Portland. So you can see Portland will be expressed after Gawar. So Portland will have, you can see this is expressed, so this is gone. After some time, this gene will be switched off. Now this will express. Okay. After this express, so it will bind with this. So this is express zeta and gamma. So zeta gamma will be there. So this is called Portland, zeta gamma. Now this fetal. Remember this fetal. Fetal will be after 8 week of embryo, we call fetus. Embryo after 8 week is called fetus. So this is fetal. Fetal is alpha and this gamma. Gamma will be expressed here. So now you can see after birth, as soon as baby get birth, so this hemoglobin is very high in high concentration, but it will be replaced slowly by this. Within few months, this will be completely replaced by this. Fetal will be replaced by, not within months, actually within month it will be replaced by this. Within few weeks it will be replaced by this. This hemoglobin will be replaced by this. This is called adult hemoglobin. You can see the last hemoglobin, beta. And I told you this is the fourth in chronology it is developed. Now after 6 months this will be developed, but concentration is very less than 3% concentration. Always the concentration will be less than 3%. So this is very minor, it will not contribute that high. Just we remember this for theoretical purpose. These two are major. These two are major hemoglobin that in fetus this alpha and gamma will last very long. In adult, alpha beta last very long. So did you understand the conceptual foundation? Now if you have understood conceptual foundation, I'll give you some mnemonics that according to me I'll give mnemonics. You can remember this. So Gawar like Gazer. So in that sense you can remember Z, E and alpha E also, Gazer. So it is for your convenience, Gawar is Gazer. So you can pronounce Gawar like Gazer and you can remember both. Now other is, you know, we have Port Zante here in St. Kitts. So you can use that Port Zante to remember Portland. So Port Jante is Z and then G. You spelling, you remember it will start with Z and G. So you can see Z and gamma. So Port Jante, Z and gamma. So you can remember this easily. Adult is adult. A for adult, A for AB. Adult, B comes after A. So you can remember that way, funny way. And now this fetal is, so fetal is A, and then fetal before F comes G. So you can remember that way. AG is alpha gamma, and then delta. You can remember this easily. Add. So these two are major, and then this expresses and goes. This expresses during chronology and goes. Did you all understand this? The chronology of this hemoglobin. Will you remember this chronology of hemoglobin nicely? This is important. Okay. Question comes from this. Now, so there are pathological, as I told you, there has to be marriage between boy and girl. It is normal. So there has to be marriage between zeta or between, there has to be marriage between zeta alpha and zeta alpha. There should be one place should be zeta alpha, on other epsilon, gamma, delta, beta. Either of this, there should be either of this. But you can see, if you see such protein, these are found in thalassemia. And this B4, and there are only B beta 4. This is called hemoglobin H. So you can make this H beta. Okay, so you can remember this beta 4 like that. So, and BART. So you just remember BART is gamma 4. Okay, gamma 4 is BART and beta 4 is H. Hemoglobin H is beta 4 is called H and BART. Just remember this two terminology. We will require this when we study thalassemia. Now this is tetrapyrrole ring. You can see this is heme. So synthesis of heme also happens the same way. There will be synthesis of this ring, first tetrapyrrole ring. This is pyrrole ring from glycine. In last class I told you glycine is required for synthesis of this pyrrole ring, glycine and succinate, succinyl coenzyme. So these two will form, actually these two molecules will form this pyrrole, and this pyrrole will be polymerized like this. So 4 pyrrole will polymerize and it will form. So this is also the showing the same sequence, in same sequence heme will be synthesized. So this is heme, and then last step is insertion of iron. So we will see that heme synthesis. This is structure of heme. Will you remember this is structure of heme? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see, as I have told you, human normally carry 8 functional globin. You already know. I don't have to say now. So 8 functional, what 8 functional? Alpha, you can see here. What is there? So this is 2 are equal. Now epsilon, gamma A and G and A. So these 2 are different protein, and then delta and beta. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or so 8 functional globin gene arranged in 2 duplicate genes. So these are 8. You can see this. Okay, 8 functional means okay. That's it. It is counting this delta alpha also. So this is good. You can see this is 4. You take it as 4, and this is 4. So 4, 4, 8. It becomes 4, 8. So 8 are arranged in 2 duplicate genes. So beta is clustered on 11, and alpha like cluster is 16. So you know, understand easily this one. So this gene code for 6 different types of globin gene. So you can easily see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different type of globin genes. So you can see this easily. Now, So this is the structure that I have shown. You can see, you can easily now understand epsilon, and this actually expressed according to the chronology. Epsilon, this gamma is to this delta beta. So these are, you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 8 cluster. This is 8, and then you can see this. These are 6 in number actually. Type, if you see the type, these are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why this is called gamma glycine and alanine? Because at one amino acid, crucial amino acid position in the chain, in place of glycine there is alanine. So that is the difference. Otherwise these two are very similar, and these two are expressed at the same time. Now you can see this chronology timing. You can see 3rd week, what is there? GAVR. So GAVR, you can see GAZR, you can remember GAZR. So A, alpha, epsilon, and zeta epsilon. So alpha epsilon, zeta epsilon. And you can see this 5th yolk sac, you can see Portland also. Port, Zante, G, ZG. So Z is there, zeta is there, and then gamma, ZG is Portland. Now you can see this GAVR is also expressed up to 5th week. So you can see this 8th week is up to 8th week is embryonic period. You can see this up to 5th week only. You can see this embryonic. These are embryonic hemoglobin. These are globin, embryonic globin. After this is fetal globin is expressed after this 6 to 10. You can see this is fetal globin, alpha and gamma. At birth, so you can see this. This is at birth. You will find 70% this just after birth, and you will find 25% this during birth. Okay, so during birth you will find 75% this and 25% of this. So did you understand the chronology?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if you understand the chronology, this is not that difficult. So this is how zeta will express. Zeta will express first, and then zeta will go down number. Alpha will express, then alpha will sustain for lifelong. Now you can see during embryonic period, gamma will express during fetal period, and then it will go down after birth. And then you can see this. This is epsilon, embryonic, and then you can see this is beta. Beta express after birth, and then it will it will express for lifelong. So these are the embryonic actually expressions. So this is also the same thing. You can, what I want to remember, this is the very important concept you have to remember. At birth, what is there? At birth, 75% is fetal and 25% is your 25% is adult. Now at birth, 25% adult and 75% fetal. Now after birth or in adult, you will see very high concentration of this adult. Adult is very high. Now you can see this delta 2. Okay, delta 2. So delta is expressed, it is less than 3%. 27% is A1 and less than 3% is A2, and it is very minor type of hemoglobin. Now this fetal globin is less than 1%. Now what will happen? So I'll tell you one thing. So if there is some problem during adult condition, like for example there is problem in production of beta, let's say beta, there is production in beta, problem in production in beta. So you know, in such condition this delta and gamma will increase, expression of delta and gamma will increase. Do you know that if beta is not there? So in that condition you will see gamma will become very high, and this is very diagnostic marker. When you do a electrophoresis, hemoglobin electrophoresis, when a lab does electrophoresis, what does electrophoresis means? You put a gel here, and then this is negative charge, this is positively charged. So what happens? So you add a protein, hemoglobin here. After you add protein, you join this with this is cathode and electrode with electricity. You join this with electricity. Now you make this protein flow, because protein generally is negatively charged, especially in alkaline pH. We do it in alkaline pH. It is in negatively charged. Protein are negatively charged. So protein try to move this side, this direction. And when it moves this direction, the band will be separated. So this adult protein will be, so fetal protein will be say here, and then protein C, and then adult protein will be somewhere. CSFA. So adult protein will be here. So this, if you can see, this band will be separated. In disease condition, what will happen? Adult protein will not be there. It will be very, very less. But what will happen in place of this, which should be very less, other protein will express. And this is how you can separate out. So if other protein is expressed, this is very less, then you can come to the conclusion, okay, the patient is lacking this beta chain, alpha beta chain. And that is why fetal and these are expressed. So you will go for the diagnosis of some disorder of thalassemia. So this is the very important concept. Understanding the composition of hemoglobin is important, because that will reflect in diagnosis. So did you understand what will happen if beta is not synthesized?
Yes, sir.
And what if the normal, what is the normal concentration here during adult phase and during at the time of birth? And what are the composition during Portland and GABA during embryonic period? And this is also very important things to remember. So first in yolk sac, then during fetal period it is synthesized in liver, spleen, and after 30th week of gestation it will be liver and then bone marrow. So actually liver and spleen during fetal period, just remember, yolk sac during embryo and liver, spleen during fetal period, and bone marrow after birth. So just remember that much. So if you have remembered this is not that difficult. Embryonic period I have already written, so you can remember this. So now types of adult hemoglobin, you already know. Types of adult hemoglobin is this. So this is, you can see there I have written 97%. If you can see here, I have written here 97%. Now I am writing is 90%. So is it right? Tell me. Just guess, make a guess. It must be right, but how can you justify this? Tell me. Yes.
Is it like?
So you can see this second type of. This is also HB1, HBA, the same thing. Just difference is that this hemoglobin of amino acid is bound with the glucose. Generally, glucose is present in our blood in a normal concentration. In normal concentration, some of the hemoglobin will bind with the glucose, okay? And that makes actually about 3 to 6%. If you add this 6 to 90, then it becomes 96%, okay? So this is the percentage you can see. This is the percentage you can see. This has been divided into 2. So I have given you the one very important concept. This HbA1c is utilized as diagnostic marker for diabetes. So in diabetes, what will happen? This HbA1c, remember the name, HbA1c concentration increases above 6%. So HbA1c is utilized as diagnostic marker for diabetes. Okay. Now, so you can see this hemoglobin, other hemoglobin, fetal hemoglobin, and then hemoglobin A1 the same way. So fetal hemoglobin there is 1%. I have written. Just remember that only. Say 97%, 2.5, and then you can remember like less than 1%. So 2.5, 1%. That way you can. So this is, you can remember this. So, and this you can in this adult hemoglobin there is 3 to 6% or 3 to 6% is this HbA1c, and HbA1c is a very important marker for adult. HbA1c is very important marker for diabetes. So you can see this. These are the concentration. So repetition. Now let's see this hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is actually formed by 4 tertiary structure. Do you know what is tertiary structure and quaternary structure? Anybody? Does anybody know what is tertiary, what is quaternary structure? Yes?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, you know the protein is chain of amino acid. It is a chain of amino acid, okay? Protein is nothing but chain of amino acid. So globin is a protein, and that is why this is a chain of amino acid. This chain of amino acid is called primary structure. And then this chain of amino acid will fold like this. This is called alpha helix structure, okay? So this will fold, this is called secondary structure. Primary and then secondary. And this alpha helix actually fold on itself. You can see this alpha helix. Alpha helix will fold on itself, and this becomes tertiary structure. As you can see from this analogy of telephone wire, so you can see this wire will fold into the secondary structure. Now this is tertiary structure. So this wire is folding on itself. When this wire, this tertiary structure, more than one tertiary structure assembled together, this becomes quaternary structure. So difference between this tertiary and quaternary is this is monomeric and this is multimeric. So hemoglobin is which type of protein, tertiary or quaternary protein from this example?
Quaternary.
Quaternary. Remember, hemoglobin, this is hemoglobin, this is hemoglobin. And this is myoglobin. So structure of myoglobin is tertiary and hemoglobin is quaternary. This is very important. Structure of, and if you see, this function will always correlate, sorry, structure will always correlate with the function. You will see, if you see the structure, it will correlate with the function. Tertiary will have different type of function, manifest different type of function. Quaternary will manifest different type of function. Remember, myoglobin is M for myoglobin, M for monomer, and it is tertiary. Hemoglobin is tetramery, multimery, tetramery. Okay. Now, can you answer this question? 30-year-old female presented with fatigue, headache, lack of focus, shortness of breathing, climbing stage. Her blood hemoglobin concentration revealed to be 7.5. So normal you have seen it is 12 to 14. Low iron is there. You can see the iron, low iron is there. Normal concentration low. This is normal concentration of iron 50 to 50, 150. Ferritin is also low, and high total iron binding capacity. This total iron binding capacity correlates with transferrin, a transporter protein. Okay. So there are two types of protein: ferritin and transferrin. Okay, and then we do iron. So whenever we have to assess iron profile, we do these 3 tests. One is iron, we measure. Second test we measure ferritin. Third test we measure transferrin indirectly by test called TIBC. So 3 tests will be measured, and always, so these two will either increase or decrease together, or it will decrease together, and this will always be opposite. If it increase, it will decrease, and this transferrin will increase. So you can see they are together. From name also you can remember Fe, ferrous, or ferrum, and ferritin. Fe. So this is the protein that store iron. This is transport iron. So you can see they have opposite reverse relations. That is why you can see low iron and low ferritin, but high TIBC. Now you can see from here, you can also remember, this is also actually theory class. You can see some, you can grab some concept. You can grab a concept of iron profile. Iron profile. So just remember, for iron profile in laboratory, we do 3 tests. We do iron, we do what? Ferritin, and we do TIBC. So these 3 tests are done in laboratory. Now these are the presentation. You can see these are the presentation you see in anemic patient: fatigue, headache, lack of focus. So because hemoglobin oxygen supply is not high, that is why the patient will lack energy. And these are the presentation of lack of energy: fatigue, headache, lack of focus, shortness of breathing, because oxygen is not there. That is why there will be shortness. The respiratory rate will increase to compensate for the low hemoglobin, low oxygen supply. Now you can see this. And this is also presentation of anemia, koilonychia. This is called koilonychia. This is sign. And which of the following hemoglobin is not part of her blood? Tell me. She is an adult patient. Be quick.
E.
Yes, E is not the part of, 97% HbA. Then HbA2 is there. Then you can say 97, 2, and 1 is HbF. So you can remember this. So this is, both are actually part of HbA, and this is A2, and this is F. Now, what would be the sequence of hemoglobin in this patient? Remember that delta is expressed after 6 months, okay? After 6 months. Delta is not expressed that. So I will make changes in that one. After 6 months. Not during birth. Answer this question. So I have already answered this question before this question, during this question. So tell me.
Would it be D?
Is it D? This. You are right. You are right. This is the answer. So HbA will be highest, then HbA2, because 97% and 2%. So there will be increase in gamma here, but anyway, even if gamma is increased in such cases also, so what will happen? Then in such condition also, there will be the same sequence will be same. You can see HbA1c, HbA, then A1c, then A2, and then HbF. So this is the sequence. You can see HbA1c, HbA2, and then HbF. So this is the right answer. You are right. Thank you. Now you can see. Let's little bit talk about this anemia also. Let's first answer this question. Then we will talk about little bit about anemia. So 32-year-old female gave birth to a female baby. So baby was healthy at birth with certain reflexes. So after a couple of days, doctor recommended for bilirubin test for the baby and told that the baby looked icteric. And the serum total bilirubin came to be 12. So bilirubin is very high. Normal is 0.2 to 1.2, while direct bilirubin is very less. So this is indirect bilirubin, means unconjugated bilirubin. So you don't know about bilirubin right now, but remember this generally this indirect bilirubin means insoluble bilirubin. Okay, insoluble bilirubin. Now it is bound to albumin. Now doctor explained it as physiological jaundice, which happens because of rapid lysis of fetal blood, and recommended for phototherapy. So what will happen? This is also theory. You can see the, and this is a text. You can see treatment of this patient, this baby, is done by doing phototherapy. What do we do in phototherapy? We use a wavelength of light about 450 nanometer blue light, and then we expose newborn baby to this blue light, and then the problem will be corrected. So this is actually also theory about this physiological jaundice. As after baby get birth, what will happen? This fetal hemoglobin, HbF, will be replaced by adult hemoglobin, and during that process there will be a certain amount of jaundice will be there, and in that process, in jaundice, bilirubin will increase. Which bilirubin? Insoluble type of bilirubin, that is called indirect bilirubin. So you can see phototherapy is treatment of choice. So even if you don't understand this, you will understand this question. What is the sequence of hemoglobin concentration present in this baby at the time of birth? At the time of birth.
Would it be?
Yes, your fetal hemoglobin is HbF will be about 75%, and then adult will be 25%, and then rest will be delta. Delta will not be that much expensive. So delta becomes important only when there is deficiency in this beta. Beta is not synthesized. In thalassemia, beta thalassemia, you will see a band of delta, big band of delta. So this is the significance of delta. Otherwise, delta is not that important. Now, which hemoglobin could be present when baby was as an embryo during 5th week of gestation? Could not be present. Could not be present during 5th week.
Is it C?
C. Yes, it will not be present. This is the most appropriate answer. So I have added this also. This will also not be present, but 5th week is like in between. So there can be this, but there cannot be this. You are very right. So this is the most appropriate answer. Now you can say this. So let's talk about this anemia little bit. So anemia, you can see anemia. What is anemia? Lack of blood, lack of hemoglobin. So anemia happens because of hemoglobin. What do we call hemoglobin? Hem plus globin. So when somebody talks about anemia, you go to the root cause of that anemia. Okay, you have to go to the root cause of it. Can be the anemia, can be whatever people say, whatever type of anemia they say, but it will be because of either deficiency of this hem or deficiency of globin. So there will be only two causes. It can be because of hem deficiency, or it can be because of globin deficiency. Now let's say this. So when it is because of like hem deficiency, so it will be generally microcytic anemia. Did you understand?
Sir.
Yes. Okay. No, hem and then also because of hem, or either because of synthesis defect of globin also. This is synthetic defect. If there is synthetic defect in hem or globin, there will be microcytic anemia. But if there is problem in DNA, this nucleic acid synthesis, or DNA synthesis, So this will lead to macrocytic anemia. Why? Because see, if you go into the cell cycle, you will see this is cell cycle will have G1 phase, cell cycle will have S phase, and then G2 phase, and then multiplication. Now what will happen is, if in S phase is DNA synthesis. Now if DNA synthesis, somehow DNA synthesis does not happen, what will happen? This G1 phase will progress, and then multiplication will also not happen. And because this G1 phase progresses, what is the function of this G1 phase? Function of G1 phase to prepare cell for S phase, and then cell will be larger, number of organelles will increase, protein will increase, but DNA synthesis does not take place. That is why cell will enlarge and capacity of cell will reduce. So this is called macrocytic anemia. Did you understand the mechanism of this macrocytic anemia and microcytic anemia?
So could you please go over macrocytic again?
Microcytic anemia will happen if there is any defect in heme synthesis, okay, or if there is mutation in globin chain. Okay, all other processes are normal, but globin chain has mutation. For example, in thalassemia, mutation in globin chain, either alpha or beta. Then in both conditions you will see microcytic anemia, and that is why what means either the microcytic anemia will happen because what will happen in such condition, you will see, if you see the case, if you see this phase, G1 phase, and then S phase, and then G2 phase. If you see compare this cell will have normal G1 phase, normal S phase, and normal G2. Only what will happen is the globin is not synthesized, and that is why, because globin is not synthesized, cell will become smaller. Because hemoglobin become less, that is why cell become smaller. In both of this condition, in thalassemia, in heme deficiency, synthesis of heme condition where synthesis of heme is affected, where iron is deficient, anything that is required for heme is deficient. If heme or globin synthesis is defective, this will lead to microcytic anemia. And when there is defect in synthesis of DNA as such, this is macrocytic. Did you understand now? 4 to basic cause. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you will understand this whole concept. You can see normochromic and hypochromic is there, but I've focused on this microcytic and macrocytic because this is the two terms that we will use more often. If you understand this, you will understand this easily. Now microcytic, you can see this is megaloblastic anemia. It happens because of folate vitamin deficiency. Remember folate deficiency. And this is because of iron deficiency. This is more important rather than this. Iron deficiency and thalassemia. Because iron deficiency will also cause reduced heme synthesis, and thalassemia will also cause reduced globin synthesis, and that is why hemoglobin synthesis. So ultimately hemoglobin synthesis will be impaired. Here what will happen? This S phase will be impaired. S phase. So did you understand the very basic difference? I want to focus only on this. Later you will, if you read yourself, you will understand this too. In chronic, normochromic, in chronic, I don't want to focus right. These two only. So did you understand the anemia, microcytic, and then this macrocytic anemia, difference between microcytic and macrocytic anemia?
Yes, sir.
So we will talk about microcytic. Whatever we are doing, we actually, all anemia that will be caused because of hemoglobin synthesis and globin synthesis, it will be microcytic anemia. So remember microcytic anemia terminology. Remember the terminology. So with this we finish today's lecture. So did you all understand nicely?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.